Welcome to this week's edition of Mountain Outhouse News. I'm your host, Jam Jam. This is the craziest shit to happen in running this week. This week's stories include course records destroyed at Zegama, a new backyard ultra world record, and who's currently running Transcontinental across North America. We begin this week with a look at a few athletes currently running coast to coast across some North American countries. The first is none other than Iron Mike Wardian, who has been planning his running home trip for some time. He started May 1st from San Francisco City Hall with a goal to finish in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware in 75 days with an average of 50 miles per day. He's looking to raise $100,000 for clean water through World Vision. According to his Instagram, after 29 days, he is 7 miles shy of Syracuse, Kansas, after knocking out a 50.41 mile day in 95-degree heat. Next up, we have Richard Donovan, the creator of the World Marathon Challenge, aka 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. He began his journey right after running the Boston Marathon on the Atlantic, heading west to San Francisco. As of May 25th, he was in St. Louis, Missouri, and says his next push will be towards Monument Valley. Finally, we have Dave Proctor, who's back after the Trans-Canada record, one held by Al Howie set way back in 1991 at 72 days, 10 hours. Dave had a failed attempt in 2018, having to pull the plug after 2,415 kilometers. He left St. John's heading west on May 15th and is currently in Oromocto, New Brunswick, averaging over 100 kilometers per day. Next, we head across the pond for a recap of Damian Hall's attempt to reclaim the Pendon-Way FKT that was taken from him by John Kelly last year. Kelly's current best time of 58 hours 4 minutes was over 3 hours better than Damian's previous record. Damian struggled with some intense wind this go-around and ended up calling it an effort near Widdop Road, some 218 miles in to the attempt, after climbing more than 37,000 feet and over 48 hours on his feet. He had fallen well behind record pace and decided to save his legs for another day. The Western States Endurance Run hosted its annual 3-day training weekend, which covers the final 70 miles of the race course, and with some top folks in the sport in attendance, it can be rife for overdoing it.
Recording! Say hi! Hey! Don't want to trip and fall! Now I can reverse the camera. Yeah.
At Aid Station Firebee on Twitter asked it perfectly. Wonder if there's any correlation between how hard people hammer the Memorial Day camp runs and their race success. Well, if history is an indicator, Jim in 2017 time trialed those Memorial Weekend runs and ended up puking his guts out on Cal Street with a drop on the near side of the river on race day. So I was pleased to see this post from the one and only Arlen Glick on Strava after day 2's jaunt from Forest Hill to Rucky Chucky. He says, hiked it today, feeling so good, but with 3 more solid days to go, thought I'd chill today. Yep, that's what I'm talking about, Arlen. Let's get into some race results from the weekend. We'll kick things off with the Pigtails Challenge held annually on a rolling 10-mile loop featuring 900 feet of gain per lap. The mental challenge of a loop race is key here, with distances of 50K, 100K, 100 miles, 150 miles, and 200 offered. This year, we saw 4 finishers of the 200, including a tie for first between Mark Thompson and Eric Skokach in 65-16. Ross Vaughn and Tony Nguyen also finished. Recent Cocodona DNFer Daro Ferrara, sorry Daro, won the 150-miler in 62-25, with Deborah Gardner taking second in 69-43. Van Fan won the 100-miler outright in 25-28, with Robert Nelson winning for the men in 26-55. We next head to Europe for the Maxi race in and around Annecy, France, headquarters of Salomon. This edition featuring an 88-kilometer and 38-kilometer kick off the Maxi Trail Series Europe, which also has stops in Sicily and Madeira later this year. Seth Ruling won the long race, which loops all the way around the mountains surrounding Lake Annecy with over 5,000 meters of gain in 8:44. He was almost a half hour ahead of second Aurélien Dunant-Palaz. Julia Rezi of France won for the women in 11:21, 15 minutes ahead of second Manon Capano. In the accompanying 38K, Jonathan Albon of Great Britain won in 3:29 with Katie Scheid of the US, taking first for the women in 4:08. As a side note, what's the deal with the finish line ramp? I know this is big in Europe, but does anyone out there know where or why this originated? Just curious. Over in Spain, the annual Zegama Coury Marathon was held, kicking off the 2022 Golden Trail World Series, and it did not disappoint. A host of Golden Trail Series regulars were joined by some fast folks from Kenya, including 208 marathoner Jeffrey Gakuni. Kilian, sporting his new team kit and kicks from Normal, absolutely went off this year, not only winning for the 10th time, but also lowering the course record by over 9 minutes in a dominating performance, almost 3 minutes ahead of David Maggini of Italy. Manuel Marias of Spain was third in 3:45. 2 Kenyan runners were in the top 10 and plan to make further appearances in the rest of the series. On the ladies' side, we saw arguably a more dominating performance from Nienke Brinkman, who not only won the race by almost 10 minutes over Maud Mathis, but her 4:16:43 winning time was a full 18 minutes under the course record. Maud was second in 4:26, and Sarah Alonso of Spain rounded out the podium just 37 seconds behind Maud. Courtney Dauwalter, not historically known for shorter races as of late, finished 10th in 4:45. This truly was a magical and historic day at Zegama, and hopefully one that will set the tone for the rest of the Golden Trail Series to come. You can check out the live stream on the Golden Trail Series YouTube channel. We've got about a month until the Mont Blanc Marathon in Chamonix, the next in the series, then off to the Stranda Fjord in Norway on August 6th, Sierrezinal August 13th, before coming stateside in September for the doubleheader finale of Pikes Peak Ascent and Flagstaff Sky Peaks 26K. Not sure how this one escaped the consciousness of the ultra world, but I barely heard about it. I feel like it has most definitely slipped under the radar when it should have shocked the sport. The rise of the backyard ultra format has taken us all by storm over the last couple years and has left many of us wondering, how far will things go? What is the limit of human endurance? And does it lie beyond the 100-yard milestone? Of course, a yard I'm referring to here is 1 hour or 4.1667 miles of running, which is the standard unit of measurement in the backyard ultra / last person standing event format. We saw Harvey Lewis and Chris Roberts absolutely redefine the standard at Big Dog last October, with Harvey completing 85 yards or 354 miles. Well, Merjan Geets said, "Hold my beer," as he took things to another level, winning the Race of Champions Backyard Masters event with 90 yards or 375 miles, bringing the 100-yard benchmark more within sight. We've got to give a huge shout out to Keith Russell with the assist, completing 371 miles in second. He headed out on yard 90, but returned back to camp. Speaking of backyards, the annual Capital Backyard Ultra takes place in Meadowland Special Recreation Management Area in Lorton, Virginia, outside Washington, D.C. The race has a max capacity of 65 runners and is a silver ticket event for the 2022 Big Dog Backyard Ultra, meaning the winner will gain auto entry to the World Champs. The event has a similar format to Big's, with a day loop within the park, running on horse trails from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. with around 300 feet of climb, and a mostly flat out and back night loop on a paved bike path from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. In 2020, the inaugural year of this race, winner Aaron Ellison went 112.5 miles or 27 yards. In 2021, winner Steve Slavey bested Chris Roberts with 57 yards, or 237.5 miles. This year, we saw continued performance gains to what would have been record-breaking levels just a few years back at Big's Backyard. Scott Snell and Jennifer Russo both surpassed 60 yards, or 250 miles, with both beginning the 61st yard. Jennifer was unable to complete that lap on time and therefore was out, making Scott last person standing and winning the silver ticket. The Brooklyn Half Marathon keeps track of the fastest parent-child combined time run, and this year we saw a new record set by Nicholas Brumlot and his daughter, Mary Ange Brumlot. She ran 1:13.46, and her father ran a 1:31.46 for a combined 2:45.32, which was 13 minutes better than the previous record. Pretty cool. Let's step down in distance further and on to the track. The Bowerman Mile took place at the Prefontaine Classic, which had a slew of great performances across the board. Jakob Ingebrigtsen has been on a tear as of late and easily gapped the field in the final 100 meters for the win in 3:49.76, almost a full second ahead of second place Oliver Hoare. Looking ahead to the weekend, the San Diego 100 is back for the first time in 3 years with 249 entrants on the start list.
Hey guys, welcome to San Diego 100 start line area. I'm Angela.
I'm BJ.
And we're here to give you this year's race briefing.
Welcome, welcome. So we want to show you first the start finish line. If you look right over here as our man Gonzo pans the camera, you'll see the start finish about mile 10 or 11 in the lake that you'll be running around to start and to finish.
Some top names include Roberto Romero, Ben Hyan, Greg Fall, and Brian Marshburn. For the ladies, we've got Francesca Conte, Mandy Holmes, Megan Galopi, and Gian Springer. This weekend's Old Dominion 100 begins the 2022 Grand Slam of Ultra Running, a journey to run 4 of the oldest 100-mile foot races in America. Slammers have their choice to finish any 3 of Old Dominion, Western States, Vermont, or Leadville, but must run and complete the series finale, the Wasatch 100, in September in Utah. According to Stan Jensen's Run 100's website, the brave few attempting this year include Stephen LeBranch of Connecticut, Simon Gerard of California, Jeff Rowthorne of Canada, Soni Sawad of the Philippines, Katie Anderson of Australia, Chad Lassiter of Texas, Mike Vergara of Colorado, David Connor also of Colorado, Edward Wang of California, Carl Norwood of Texas, Adam Rood of Kentucky, David Miao of New York, Jeff Iosa of Florida, Fanny Barrett of Canada, and Keith Straw of Pennsylvania. Good luck to all of you, and we'll keep tabs throughout the summer. Thanks for tuning in to episode 202 of Outhouse News. If you'd like to own this custom pair of Jam Jam sunglasses or shop for merchandise, head over to mountainoutpost.com. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you'd like to support the show, please join Steep Life Media on Patreon, where you'll enjoy bonus content each and every week from me. We'd like to mention by name our top level supporters. At the $100 level, Brian Sands. At the $50 level, Squirrels Nut Butter, Mark Grabowski, Peter and Patty Curry. At the $25 level, Carrie Savage, Grandpa Man, Michael Perez, Steve De La Cruz, and York Beach Runner. And finally, have a shitty week.